Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spirit Wisdom Wednesday, where we gather here together in the healing space and allow some spirit wisdom to flow through. My name is Meredith. I'd love to welcome you here if you are new to me. This is part of my heart-centered business called The Healing Hummingbird, where I love to help healers and nurturers heal their grief and reclaim their power so that they can then live their highest destiny. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are watching the recording, I do want to let you know that next week I will have a special opportunity to get mini readings, personal mini readings, and I will post a link afterwards to this. It's a special link that I haven't shared with anybody else yet, so I'll probably mention this a couple times through the reading to give people time to join. But if you are interested, they are 10-minute readings that will be done same style as they are here, except of course they would be your personal questions, 10 minutes for $11. So let me know if you are interested and I can actually DM you the link before I post it publicly. So let's go ahead and get started. Our subject this week is all about balance. What needs balance? I feel like that's a major theme with everybody lately. I've been getting a lot of messages about it, so I'm excited to see what comes through. So let's go ahead and place our hands over our hearts and just take a couple mindful breaths in together. Let's inhale in and exhale out. Again, inhaling in and exhaling out. Inviting our spirit guides to come near us now. We're asking which group holds my messages of what needs balancing in my life. Just remaining open to how that can come through. You could hear, see, feel, or know that it's 1, 2, or 3. Or you could feel particularly drawn to one of the options that I'm going to show you here today. So for group number 1, there's this tiny little tree bell. It's a very sweet sound. Group number 2 has this peace sign keychain. Lots of different colors there. And then for group number 3, we have this coin. This is a copper coin. And obviously it's very big. All right, so if you need more time, feel free to pause the video and choose which pile you are most drawn to. But I will go ahead and clear out some room here and get ready for group number 1. Okay, so let's get ready for group number 1. If you chose this adorable little bell with a tree on it, let's get your messages about what needs balancing in your life. Now, Spirit wanted to be very clear and uncomplicated about these readings, so they did actually have me pre-shuffle a couple cards for each. So I haven't looked at these yet. Let's take a look at your crystal first. Okay, this is what it looks like. And we have shungite. Get real with your truth. Who needs it? Anybody looking to get honest with themselves. Interesting. It's time to reclaim your energy from wherever it's been and whomever it's been with. Ooh, okay. Let's see what your moon oracle, moonology oracle cards are. We have new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. And full moon, surrender to the divine. Okay. Interesting energy to start off with here. Get real with your truth. That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and get some tarot and kind of unpack this here. I feel like this sounds counterintuitive, but group number 1, I feel like you've been working on surrendering. Like trying your best to surrender, which is kind of funny, of course, because, you know, we don't need to try to surrender, but it could be, since we do have Capricorn here, you could find that your personality type prefers to be in control of things. So perhaps you're doing your very best to surrender to the divine. You might even be affirming that, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Maybe something happened that was, a decision was made for you. It feels like something was cut off. Okay, let's get some more info from the tarot. We'll stop there. All right. So first out, we had the Seven of Wands. Okay, that's making sense here. Nine of Swords. We're gonna scooch him up. Okay. And Five of Cups. Wow, you've really been going through it, group number one. Okay, let me actually... Yeah, it feels like you really thrive when you're able to organize your life your way, if that makes sense. Because I'm feeling like, no, these cards aren't just right. We need to fix them. We need to move them around. We'll just put him over here for now. So, of course, in the middle here, let's talk about this Nine of Swords. This can often talk about sleepless nights or nightmares, fearing of what's to come in the future. So not only do we have an anxiety card, we do have a grief card as well, healing from grief with the Five of Cups. Realizing that not every cup is spilled in this situation, that there is still hope left. And then, but on top of this difficult situation already that you're dealing with, group number one, it looks like you feel like you're on your own as well with Seven of Wands. This is like me against the world kind of energy. There might be people who have made not great intentions clear to you, or it could just feel like people are jealous of you, like just not great energy coming your way. But it feels like this is disappointing. So you might be going, this does feel work related, I will say, career related, especially because we had Capricorn come out. So it could be that you are moving in a different direction than you once had been before. And it could be that a group of friends or even family members or something are not understanding like what you're doing and giving you some grief about it. And it's making your current anxieties about what's coming next. Am I going to be able to get over this grief? Am I really going to be able to surrender? It's making that difficult or more strained. So there's some type of truth, some type of self-realization here that needs to come into balance. And I'm interested what more Spirit has to say about that. And I'm reaching for a different deck. I didn't plan to use these, but they're pointing over here. So let's see. Okay. So we definitely need at least one lesson card up in here. When I see some heavier energies in the tarot, I like to focus on what's being observed or what's being worked out. I just feel like that's more helpful than going like, yeah, I can see that you're having a bad time. You know what I mean? So let's add value here. Clarity and balance as well, of course. I feel like there's two for you. All right, Spirit, what lessons are being balanced? In group number one, we have abundance. I am a limitless being. I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Yeah, because we have the full moon here, which is a time of manifestation. And also adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I'm going to push back on that a little bit because I feel like this is the getting real with your truth, is not only just like unapologetically doing what you want, even if it's different from what others might perceive as best for you. But I don't know, this card suggests that I just don't like that idea that challenges are the best way to learn. I'm going to disagree. So I feel like there might be a pattern here of learning things the hard way, or of pushing yourself so hard that you fall on your face or you completely implode. So it feels like Spirit is kind of challenging you on that. Like, we don't have to do everything the hardest way possible. You know, we can speed things up. Things can be a bit easier. We just need to be clearer and more direct. Maybe even making decisions could be something that is challenging. But especially with Capricorn here, if decisions were made for you or your power was taken away in some sort of situation where you felt like you weren't heard, it just feels like there's like fairness is very important to you. It feels like you might begin to shut down in that situation. So Spirit definitely wants to rev you back up here, because I don't know about you, but I would definitely rather choose abundance. I would love to see you choose abundance rather than adversity. So you might be subconsciously choosing that. Let's see what else Spirit has to say about this balance. I'd like to know more about the get real with your truth, being honest with yourself. What is that about, Spirit? Okay, let's see. We have Earthworm, Vulture, and Mouse. I saw a mouse. I didn't say anything, but I saw a mouse before we started any of the readings. Okay. Interesting cycle going on here. And at the root of it, there is this inherent belief that you hold, which I do agree with in the Vulture, which is nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted at all. I do feel that that is true, but I'm seeing this cycle here between the mouse and the worm that is kind of being validated by this belief. So let's break this down. The earthworm is like a reflex to kind of stay safe and turn inward. Like, I don't want to share my ideas. I want to work on this a bit longer. I would really rather perfect these details before I announce it to other people. So this could be a new project that you're working on, maybe even like a book or something, maybe a website, a course, something that you are cultivating and doesn't feel ready to show. And then with the mouse energy, it's like the earthworm says, let's turn inward. Let's not talk about that just yet. And the mouse is like, oh yeah, let's really look at these finite details. Yeah, let's get really detailed and meticulous about this. Oh, definitely earthworm. Let's work on this more. And the vulture's like, this is not a waste of time. So it's a little bit of like, I feel like the self-talk needs to be balanced. I feel like it's scattered, splintered, like there's different versions of yourself kind of talking to each other within yourself, instead of just being united and aligned in one direction to attract abundance or embody abundance. It's like, let's continuously work on all these tiny details, but still never actually present anything. So I feel like that's what we're really getting real about with the Shungite, is that it's time. Yeah, I'm hearing it's time. It is time. It feels like it's time to put whatever you've been working so hard on out into the world. So you definitely have something worth sharing. That's for sure. And some other people around you are sensing that. So we definitely want to get ahead of these delays. They seem a little bit self-imposed, group number one. But, I have procrastinated a lot throughout my life because I have perfection paralysis. That might be something that resonates for you, that term. So you're in good company here. I definitely understand you. Okay. Let's get some mystical shaman oracle cards out here to round out the balancing that's taking place within your self-talk. And it could be, whoa, those just flew across the table. Another version of this, if it's not a website, if it's not a book, if it's not a new job or whatever, another version of this could be healing, self-healing with this 5 of Cups and the anxiety card here. It's like, let me work on this more. Let me revisit this really painful thing again. Let me work on it again. Let me do it again and again and again. And it's like, because these same perspectives are keeping you in this infinite loop, it's like, we really need like hawk spirit or eagle spirit or something to like pull you out so you can see from a higher perspective and truly get at the work. There's something about the current situation that's not allowing you to get to the depth that you're wanting to go to. Okay, let's see. We have the Blade. Ooh, number 6. And Thunder, 56. Wow. Powerful energy. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with the Blade, Archangel Michael is here as well if you resonate with angel energy. And he's saying, listen, girl, it's time to cut these cords. It's time to cut out these routines that aren't working out anymore, or these repetitive practices that are kind of just like spinning the hamster wheel but not making real progress. It's time to really put the kibosh on that. And then with Thunder, it's like, let's think of a different plan. Let's clear all this out and start over. I feel like we need to redesign your daily routine for some reason. That might really help you. And now let's end with some Divine Abundance cards. All right, Spirit. What does group number 1 have to look forward to once this is balanced? Once the self-talk, once the routine is balanced, and they're able to actually put it out into the world. You feel like a very creative energy, group number 1. But it's almost, there's something that's like not allowing yourself permission to really express that and unfurl. But I feel like you have so much to offer the world. And a manifestation is coming. If not, it's already here. So it's like, we want to get you to a place, or this is your spirit guides, or spirit teams talking here. We want to make sure you're in a place where you can actually receive this manifestation. Because, for example, if like money or a gift comes in and you feel like you don't deserve it, you know, you'll just dismiss it. And we want you to be able to accept that. So that was just a little bit of direct channeling coming through. And yeah, there's a need to be frank for some reason. Even the name Frank could mean something to you as well. Let's see. Gratitude. Okay. I feel like there's 2. And true offering. Ooh. Lovely. I feel that this is talking about when you truly offer all of yourself, which it's like honoring your truth. It's like really being honest with yourself and aligning all of your energy in one direction. You are truly offering your energy to the universe and to your purpose, and that will be reflected back to you tenfold in this huge manifestation that's coming through. And I'm just seeing this beautiful moment of gratitude and of realization for you, group number 1. So I'm so excited for you. I hope that was helpful. Please let me know if that resonated. But those were your messages if you chose this bell with the tree spirit. For some reason, I want to say tree spirit on there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, so let's get started with group number 2. If you chose this peace sign keychain, let's get your messages about what needs to be balanced in your life. This was my first keychain on my car keys of the first car I ever had. It was a really old, I don't know why they want me to talk to you about this car. Maybe this has some kind of significance to you, but it was a black Pontiac Grand Am. And I saved up for a couple years for that car. So it really meant a lot to me. Okay, so let's reveal your crystal first. And then we'll take a look at your Moonology guidance. Okay, here's what it looks like. And we have Azurite. Explore your hidden depths. Who needs it? Leos especially. Okay. Materialistic, vain, and always craving. How about some of these descriptions I push back on? That's been a theme. If you've already watched group number 1, I already disagreed with a card that came out. I was like, don't love that language. Okay. It's time to take a break from snapping selfies and chasing shiny things. You can shake off shallowness. Start with your breath. Let's forget all that, group number 2. I feel like azurite is my favorite crystal for my third eye. So I feel like there's something going on with the third eye for you that needs balancing. Let's take a look at your moonology. That could be a message here too, as well as dismissing what other people, it's like, it feels like a lot of information is coming your way, group number 2. So maybe a lot of communication, a lot of differing opinions. And it's like the need to filter through those and sort out like, yeah, I'll take this one, or no, thanks. You know what I mean? So I feel like that energy is already going on here, kind of discerning what works for you. Oh, we have emotions are running high, supermoon in the reverse. And then we have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Okay. So let's talk about what can potentially happen if there's an issue with the third eye. So you might be feeling a lot of fullness in your head. You might be getting headaches. You might find that your eyes are really tired or even itchy. You might be having sinus problems. But what can also happen when the third eye is having trouble is it can affect the other chakra that it is attached to, which is the sacral center. That's all about emotions, passions, and with this, emotions are running high in reverse. It feels like because we have shut down the emotional center. So it's like, it's almost like you're talking to your sacral center, like, we don't have time to feel all these feelings right now. We got to keep it professional, or we got to keep it light. We got to keep it moving. Now the third eye is starting to feel it. It's like, oh, this pressure needs to come out. There's definitely this feeling of pressure for you, group number 2. Let's get some tarot and get a little bit more clarity about what you're dealing with. But yeah, right away, very clearly, we have third eye and sacral needing to be balanced here. And then the North Node over here, step out of your comfort zone, would also speak to the sacral center. Because if we are in fight, flight, or freeze, the sacral center is completely shut down and it's like, no, I need to be safe. But there's this invitation to step out and do something else, but the body is like, no way. We're not safe to do that. So let's see what else is going on with you, group number 2. Okay. So we have for you Knight of Cups, King of Cups, what? And the Two of Wands. Okay. You definitely have some interesting people around you. So in the center here, we have the King of Cups. This is someone who is very altruistic, very emotionally intelligent. This is someone who is often asked to lead, but doesn't have a drive to be a boss. The Knight of Cups would be more like a charming person, someone who's offering something heartfelt, maybe even a note or something very sweet, very kind, possibly even romantic. And then over here in the future position, you're looking ahead and planning what you want to do. Am I going to step out of my comfort zone or not? Very interesting. So a way to read this could be 2 different people or two different relationship options. Now that's kind of unusual. I'm going to leave this open to another interpretation, but just take that with a grain of salt. These could be two different suitors, or you could be in a current relationship thinking about another option. Maybe someone else approached you, something like that. There's definitely people competing for your attention in your mind, if that makes sense. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't stop thinking about this person, but I feel bad about it because I know that's not like what I'm supposed to do. And now you find yourself wondering, like, who am I? What do I want? What is my purpose? How does this align with the agenda of my soul? It's like very philosophical over here. It's like I could risk it all. So that is one option here. Another option is that you are the King of Cups. So you have this energy. Someone could be asking you to be a boss or take the lead of something, or offering you some type of message. It could even be like a formality if this is work. Let's get some more information here. I don't want to just keep throwing out scenarios. So let's clarify this. Group number 2, you've got a lot of energy around you. So let's clarify what group number 2 is balancing. Let's tighten this up, Spirit. We don't want to overcomplicate with too many scenarios. I'm hearing options. So it could just very simply be that you are choosing between two different things and you're not quite sure what to do because your sacral and your third eye are foggy, having a hard time talking to each other. Okay. Group number 2. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Wow. I feel like the scenario I described where someone is in a current relationship but considering something else, I feel like that's pretty close to what we're looking at. If it's not a relationship, it could be a job that you're in. Whatever it is, I feel like whatever you're considering, you're doing that secretly. Like, I don't feel like you're letting people know that you have another offer or that you have another interest. Is that making sense? And so it feels like you're blaming yourself for feeling lonely or feeling like there needs to be a change. It feels like you're assigning a lot of guilt to yourself for that. And I'm hearing that there's no need to feel guilty, but there's definitely a need to get in touch with yourself and get really real about what it is that you truly want. Because shutting down is not helping you get super clear about what these options are and what they mean to you. It's almost like, I feel like typically you would be very logical, group number 2, and very well spoken, but it's like in this situation, for some reason, it's just like not happening. Like it's really hard for you. So this could be a situation that you did not foresee yourself being in and just have no idea how to handle. So let's take a look further, Spirit, for group number 2. Looks like they are choosing between two pretty big options. Okay, we're going to take all of those. Alrighty. So first we have the rabbit. I'm going to put him here. We have beaver, unicorn, This is reminding me of a reading I did fairly recently, and then tiger. So I feel like you typically hold the vibration of beaver, which everybody loves beaver. Beaver is very reliable, works very hard, very diligent. and is good at providing structure for other people, extremely dependable. But that could have led to a feeling of loneliness. People just assume that Beaver is happy because she acts happy all the time. It's just easier to get work done. It's more of like acting happy out of convenience. Ooh, yeah. That feels like that just hit home. So it's acting happy because it's more convenient and more professional or more appropriate or whatever. It feels like people are not stopping to truly ask you how you're doing, and like not good. Like you feel like something's wrong. It feels like you're feeling this amping, like this sensation of anxiety, like something's going to happen. Is something going to happen? I don't know. Yeah, it feels like instinctively your fight, flight, or freeze reflex is triggered big time. So again, that's just confirming that the sacral center is having a hard time. But then over here, what you're considering is something totally different and extremely powerful and fiery. So this new option you're considering, again, this feels secret. It feels secretive, and it feels like you might feel guilty about even considering it. But let's talk about it while it's here, okay? So this is something that would feel very empowering for you. This would feel more in alignment with just what you want, kind of like on a surface level. And it feels like this is really unique from anything else that you've experienced, which might have to do with why you're so intrigued. It feels like you've surprised yourself with how much you're entertaining this other offer or this other option. So I don't know, girl, maybe someone slid into your DMs, or I don't know what's going on with you, but very interesting. Let's get some guidance for you, group number 2, besides just balancing the third eye and sacral. Of course, that would help a lot. Okay, that is too many. We're only going to take the top, and we're going to continue shuffling. Okay, so we have the Hunter, number 27. We're only going to get one more of these. These are pretty powerful. Okay, I'm going to take that one. Luminous Warrior, number 32. I know this is specific, but I really feel like maybe an ex came back or something, or you're considering another person. If it's not that, this would be like a job you really care about, and then you're getting like an offer for a new career, and you're like, oh my gosh, do I want that? I don't know. Do I want that? I don't know. And so, yeah, there's definitely a dynamic difference between these two characters. Of course, the Hunter is more grounded in the material world. This would be somebody who is, or a job or situation, something that's fairly stable and is willing to work for you and with you. The Luminous Warrior, however, almost feels like it's from a different reality, totally different energy, and it feels very expansive and mysterious. It feels like there might be a lot of unknowns about this, which it might be why you're like, I just have no idea what to do. Oh, okay, let's see. I feel like I'm hearing somebody say, and I didn't ask for this. So again, there's this element of self-blame that I feel like Spirit really wants to encourage you to let go of. Because you're right, you did not ask for this. However, this is the situation, and it seems like a decision needs to be made. And it feels like it's for yourself too. So you can stop considering in secret all the time what you're going to do and how people are going to react. And I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to leave anyone behind. This King of Cups, you know, you would really care about everyone's health around you, about everyone's well-being. It would be difficult for the King of Cups to just up and leave a job or leave a serious relationship or leave a family. It would be difficult for this person to cope with. So I understand why there's so much internal struggle going on here. I feel like there's something else we need to get for you. Well, let's go ahead and get your Divine Abundance cards and see if Spirit has more advice here. Because they're sort of just repeating the same points over and over again. And so while that is great, it can really affirm whether you chose the right group or not. I do really want to get advice for you, group number 2, because you're not alone. You're truly not. I don't want you to feel alone. And having the third eye and sacral blocked, that's not fun. It's not a fun feeling. When I get blockages, I usually default to throat and solar plexus. But I've definitely been there before, so I feel for you. Okay. Let's see, for group number 2, we have inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Also, grief. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. It feels like there could have been a transformational grief experience going on here. Someone could have reached out to you in a time of grief, and it feels like your inner child is steering the boat at the moment, and it feels really chaotic because the inner child wants what it wants when it wants it. You know what I mean? And it feels like we do need to ground in reality a bit more just to help you maintain your health, group number 2. I feel like that's really important. I'm actually going to get a couple more messages out of here for you for some advice here. Freedom. Okay. And worth. Perfect. Okay. So very clear message here. If you are wanting to explore a new level of freedom that you haven't in a while, I'll leave that up to you. This could be long-term relationship, job you've had for a long time. You are worth taking that risk. You're worth doing it. It's just, do you really want to? That feels like what we're really balancing is not, am I worth it? Am I worth it? That feels like that's what the self-talk has been. But Spirit's like, we don't even really know if you want this. So, I mean, you know, we have free will on this earth plane. We can do whatever we want to a certain extent. But yeah, this feels more like, what do I want? What does my inner child need? What do I need? Not like which one of these people is better. The answer at this time could be none of them. That could be one of the answers. And I know that might sound scary and not great, but it would be better than committing to like the wrong you might perceive that you made a wrong choice, or spread yourself too thin, or try to do both situations at the same time. Not great. Okay, so you are worthy of a commitment to yourself. Okay, that's what we're really balancing here. And look, there's like this orangey hue and this indigo, further confirming that we're balancing the third eye and the sacral chakra so that you can make this choice. I feel like group number 2, we need to make a call here for your own health, for your own peace. Okay, so I really feel for you. I hope you're okay. Let me know if that resonated, if you chose group number 2 with the peace sign keychain. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you tons of love, and I will see you next time. All right, last but not least, let's get started with group number 3 with the copper coin. If you chose this group, let's go ahead and get your messages about what needs to be balanced in your life right now. Let's reveal your crystal first, and then we'll look at your Moonology cards. Ooh, that looks like amber, maybe. Let's see. Amber. Okay, nice. Okay, who needs it? Old souls, anyone gearing up for a long, dark winter? Let's see. When you need a metaphysical hug from the universe, call on Amber's vibes, let's say that. Recharge your good vibes. Okay. Let's take a look at Moonology here. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And communication is key, new moon and Gemini. Okay, so if you chose group number 3, I feel like you would be more similar to me energetically than the last 2 groups, or at least the last group. Because in group number 2, the third eye and the sacral chakras came up, and I'm seeing here that the solar plexus and the throat are coming up as a potential connection to take a look at. So that would be, you know, self-worth, giving yourself permission to speak your truth, being truly aligned with talking about who you are. That seems to be a theme here. Let's get some tarot to get a little more information about what you are dealing with, group number 3, what needs balancing. Ooh, I just got a flash of the devil on the bottom of the deck. No need to worry there. It could just be that like old temptations are coming back up, maybe old habits, old coping mechanisms. That could be something that you've worked on for a long time. And so even if it does come back up, it feels like it wouldn't be that intimidating. So I don't want you to be alarmed. It feels like you've done a good job of that. Maybe you even smoked at one time or something like that and kicked that pretty intensely to the curb. So I love that for you. Ooh. Fell right out on the table. Okay, let's see what we've got. So first we had the 7 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, I love that, and the 5 of Wands. Interesting. I feel like there's these universal themes here of at least 2 groups, maybe all 3. It feels like there is this energy going on here of like, do I want to go for something totally different? Do I want to go for a new opportunity? It's like comparing what you have to what you don't have. So there's always an unknown there. But anyway, it feels like, let's go ahead and address in the future position. We have the 5 of Wands. I would interpret this as concern about competition, concern about maybe even like, usually this is just competition, honestly, with the 5 of Wands. So it's like people could be competing in sales. You feel like there's too many people doing what you want to do, or people talking over each other. It could even be like a debate of some kind. Argument is kind of a strong word, but if it's something that you're worried about, you could be concerned about people not getting along in the best way. So I wonder if you've gotten a new opportunity, group number 3. Or you know what? You could be waiting for your new opportunity. That's what this is. So this can be read as a little bit of frustration. Why aren't things moving along as fast as I want them to? You've put in the work. You've sown your seeds. They're growing. And he's like, I'd really love for this to be a whole tree right now. I'd really love to be able to harvest this fruit. So I can see that this opportunity is coming to you, that the harvest time is coming. Just need to be a little more patient. And yeah, if the energy is gaining momentum, beautiful confirmation right there. In the meantime, Spirit is really talking about recharging your positivity. So there's this director that I worked with forever ago in grad school, and he would say, he had this like catchphrase to cultivate vitality. And it's like this innate desire to be, to live, to continue and gain momentum and move forward no matter what, with a smile on your face. And I used to think, oh my gosh, it's so cheesy, but I get it more now. But it feels like we're in a little bit of a pause here, waiting for the 7 of Pentacles to actually bear fruit. While we're doing that, Spirit's just basically saying like, do things that truly make you happy. It also feels like there is a focus on physical health as well. So you might want to look at what you're eating nutrient wise. It feels like I want to make sure I'm getting my vitamin D and vitamin C as well. Broccoli sprouts, for some reason, keep coming up to me many times. So that might be something that you benefit from as well. Just making sure that that immune system is really amped up and nice and bright and shiny. So let's get some more clarity, group number 3, of what is being balanced. It could be time frames for you. It just could be time, accepting that there's not anything you did wrong to delay this. It's just, you know, taking some time is what I'm hearing. But I would like to get some more insight or information about this 5 of Wands, this concern about conflict. It could be concern about a verbal argument here because we have Gemini. Okay, let's see. All right. Group number 2. Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Yeah. Look at all this yellow for you. Solar plexus big time. So it could be, yeah, there's definitely a lot going on with the throat chakra. I can really feel it with this group. With this 5 of Wands, I'm also getting a scenario where maybe you've lost contact with someone for a while and you're considering like reaching back out, or you really wish that you could, or wish that they would. There's this other message with these two being connected as well, kind of separate from this opportunity. So we've already confirmed this opportunity is coming for you. Amazing. Okay. So there's another message coming here with the 7 of Pentacles, which is, I wish things were different. I wish things could develop more. And I'm actually afraid to say what I think, or I'm afraid that we're going to fight. Is that making sense? So if you've lost contact with someone, maybe you're wishing that it happened differently. Maybe you didn't end on a great note and that's not sitting well with you. Maybe you prefer to end and wrap things up and have closure. It could be that you're wanting closure from a past experience. And I feel like another message with your coin here is seeing both sides of the situation. And I'm hearing both sides of the same coin, which is perfect Gemini energy there. So it feels like if this is resonating for you, this person that you're considering, or it could just be that this person's on your mind lately. Maybe you've heard their name a couple times and you're like, oh yeah, I really do wish that would have gone differently. It feels like what Spirit is saying is like, we needed this separation so that you're able to perceive a different viewpoint than you were able to when you were in the middle of the conflict. So it could be that the conflict actually already happened and it kind of blew up and fizzled out, and now there's no contact. So that's one of the options I'm picking up on. Okay. Let's get some spirit animals for you, group number 3. If you chose this group, I feel like I am in this group too. And I usually do not choose a group when I do this. It's just, I feel like Spirit sometimes wants me to talk about that sometimes. It could be that you know me on a personal level and are experiencing something that you know I've experienced before. Could be a million different things, couldn't it? Okay, let's let that drop down. And let's get at least one more. Maybe a few more. Okay. Let's cut there and see how it goes, okay? Ooh, fire ant. And elephant. So I can definitely see from elephant that even though this may have ended in a way that was kind of unsettling. Maybe you even had to like block somebody, or maybe they blocked you. It feels like you've gained a lot of wisdom from that. It feels like you were able to look inward and kind of examine the choices that you made that led up to that moment. And it feels like you're deciding, not only are you grateful for the insight that you're gaining from this, but you're like, let's amend that. I will make different choices next time. So I love that for you. I feel like that's a big pat on your back, on the back from your spirit guides. Like, good job, kid. You learned the lesson. And with Fire Ant over here, I actually want to pull the book on this one, which I don't always do. I am noticing that the elephant and fire ants are both in the fire element. So you could be a fire sign, sun, moon, or rising. Okay, so fire ant, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. I mean, guys, we're literally doing a reading about balancing and what needs balancing. Come on. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or a situation, and we just talked about that. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. Interesting. To bring into balance solo time and walks at night. So you might want to take some hikes. You might really want to work the lower body in particular. And I'm also hearing marching to the beat of your own drum. So this could even have to do with like a circle of people that you've outgrown. Ooh, yeah. Yep. That feels like a yes for me. All right. Let's get some Shaman Oracle for you, group number 3. Very interesting dynamics, because I thought we were going to go in the direction of this opportunity, but then Spirit was like, okay, cool, covered that. Now let's talk about this. Sometimes we'll do that. They'll jump around. It's interesting that they had me pull the book specifically on this fire ant, because I usually read these intuitively. And, you know, sometimes that's a mix of what's in the book and then whatever my guides are giving me. And a lot of times in shamanism, insects can mean support. So it's interesting that they were like, not this time. It's not supportive this time. Okay. Okay. Let's get your Shaman Oracle cards, group number 3. The Journey, number 29. And the Ancient Ones. Oh, number 1? What? Maybe you were drawn to group number 1 as well. Wow. Okay. Very clear message here that's directly related to like this kind of shadow element that we were talking about. Maybe you're a conflict, a past conflict is on your mind. Maybe you're hoping you can resolve it somehow. And it feels like Spirit wants to talk to us about what we choose before we come to Earth. So they want to assure you that even if you would choose differently, it feels like you've grown. It feels like you feel evolved. And you might be thinking, I wish I would have acted differently, or now I know the perfect thing to say. And Spirit's like, it's not about any of that, dear one. This is actually a journey. This is part of what we chose to work on in this lifetime. And of course, we don't come here remembering those things, but Spirit is assuring you that this did need to happen, actually, for some type of divine learning that was agreed upon before we came here. So if this felt like it took on a life of its own and it way went out of control. That was all part of the journey. That was intended to be an experience that you had to go through. And the ancient ones and your ancestors are a part of this as well. So this could be directly linked to family, or it could be a cycle that you have seen play out with other family members as well. So this feels like a lesson for the whole lineage is what I'm hearing. And there's really no way at this time, I'm really strongly feeling, to fix it or to go back or maybe like send a letter or call somebody. It feels like I'm seeing a spirit guide shake their head like, no, that's not what it's about. Not at this time. You're definitely where you need to be, and you're sitting in your gratitude, you're growing, you're learning, you're getting ready for this big manifestation, this offer to come in that you've been cultivating. And I feel like your spirit guides just really want you to be happy at this time. I feel like your joy guides are around you. I don't know if you can hear that. My throat is going crazy right now. I feel like there's a lot that needs to be released in the throat, maybe perhaps through laughter. So watch funny shows, talk to people you really love that make you smile. It feels like that is a really, really important for you. Maybe even candy. I'm getting like candies, like lemon candy or lemon bars or like some kind of lemon dessert. Something that makes you, it's like sweet and tart at the same time. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe that was significant to you. Or maybe it just feels bittersweet. Maybe you are out of that situation. You're away from that dynamic and you might be feeling good because this fire ant energy feels very uncomfortable. And revisiting it sounds terrible. So if that's something that you've been seriously considering, your spirit guides want to relieve you of that responsibility. It's not your responsibility to make this right, okay? They really just want you to be happy now. Focus on your joy. So if you've got a great opportunity coming down the pike. So, we're balancing your feeling of responsibility, group number 3. Oh my gosh. That's been a lifelong theme for me. I don't know about you. It is for me. Okay, let's get your last messages here. Divine love. And reframe. Okay. Oh girl, this is happening for me, not to me. Yes, ma'am. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Yeah, I feel like you're able to, once you're able to truly let go of this sense of responsibility that I feel like you've taken on, this might be a pattern for you. You might feel like you constantly ask yourself, how can I make this right? How can I be the bigger person? Is there anything else that I can do? How can I be of service? And they're saying that's really beautiful of you. We love that about you. However, this isn't all yours. Karma is shared. It's not just you. And I feel like you've taken care of your portion of it. And so if this person's not talking to you or whatever, it just feels like Spirit's saying, let's let it go. Let's let it rest in the past where it needs to. And we want you to focus on loving yourself and reframing this tendency to take on responsibility. We want you to receive gifts, receive them, instead of giving. Feel like you give a lot. Okay, look at this imagery of these hands too. That's really beautiful. Okay, group number 3. I hope you give yourself permission to let go of your feeling of responsibility and allow yourself to have joy. Also, these wings are really sticking out to me as well. So freedom and expansiveness feel really important for you as well. So let's go ahead and end it there. Those were your messages if you chose group number 3 with the coin. I hope that resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.